they're not having to decide who's worthy of a piece of equipment or who's worthy of help.
I imagine
Everyone.
some of the volunteers have to take incoming stuff, right? So a guy wheels in, I got
Hmm.
a hospital bed, a wheelchair, and a bunch of these, whatevers, right?
Yeah,
Who
a
checks all
big
that in?
the volunteers again. They're doing great stuff. And the other thing is that it's not rocket science. It's not something that requires years of training. They come in. Someone's had a wheelchair in their garage for the last 6 months, and so it's got some leaves and some cobwebs and some dirt. It doesn't look great, but then with a little disinfectant, a little bit of elbow grease, some just good old soap and water, all of a sudden that wheelchair is looking clean and almost brand new. And anyone can wipe down and sanitize a wheelchair. It's easy. It's a simple thing that everyone can help out with. So again, instead of something sort of complicated or difficult, it's just straightforward. But it also changes a lot. I think that's part of the fun, is that in a day we'll get two hospital beds and then an electric wheelchair and then a brand new piece of medical equipment that folks have never seen before. And just the variety that's out there also means they're not just doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. It's 1,000 different pieces of medical equipment, and everyone's different.
About that piece of equipment you see in movies, beep 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 beep, beep, the super complex thing. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
you have that, whatever that is, the
Bedside
monitor,
oximeter. Yeah.
the bedside oximeter,
Yes, and some of them will
the
include a pulse
BSO. I
ox.
think you mean the
Yeah.
BSO, the bedside oximeter, right?
There we
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
So
Yeah, we
you
get those
actually
in.
have, so some of these things. I mean, doesn't a tech have to make sure that they're all running and stuff? I guess that's also part of the process, right?
Yeah, so with a lot of this stuff, it's basically, turn it on and double check that it's working. CPAPs are a really good example. We can turn on a CPAP, we can clean it. There's all these standards to make sure that a CPAP is cleaned the way it needs to be. But then we tell them, like, hey, we're not medical professionals. Take this to your doctor. They'll tell you that it needs to have, setting A, B, C, and D, and this is how it needs to be set up for you. And so we don't sort of cross that line into medical advice, but we go, we haven't had a single doctor, not one in 3 years, that's been like, oh, my patient got a free CPAP. I'm not willing to set it for them. Every time the doctors, like, you see that, like, you can sort of see them. Sometimes they're contained by like their system that they can't just give them away for free. But if someone comes in with one and they're back to just being a doctor helping someone, and they get to just be like, oh, great, you've got one. Yeah, here's what you need.
This
It's
is
cool.
why I got into the business.
Yeah,
Nice,
yeah,
nice.
exactly.
So I saw some of your volunteers. I didn't hear all their stories, but I've known people in this world, and it looks like this. I cared for my wife for 15 years, and now she's gone, and there's a hole in my life. But now I can take her stuff, pass it on to somebody else's wife, and maybe I could put some time at that place just volunteering, because it feels like when I do that, I keep her memory alive. Am I right about that?
Yeah, we've got a few folks here they've gone through their own medical journey, and there's been times where they've struggled, and there's been times where they've had to fill out an 8-page application, and or they've been denied and they couldn't get the thing that they needed, and or there was a financial component that they were struggling with, and for them to be able to come in and pay it forward to someone else. We've had people come in and just say, I couldn't throw this away. It would have felt like a betrayal. My husband, yeah,
Interesting.
that they had a loved one who used this piece of equipment, and it made such a difference for them that to just throw it away just feels wrong.
Like you're throwing them away.
Yeah,
Hmm.
like, this is what helped grandpa or grandma walk, my aunt, my uncle recover from surgery. This was a part of their life, and it made it better. I want, like, throwing it away when I could make someone else's life better, when I can improve their recovery, it just feels wrong.